September 20th, 1895. Baku, in the Russian Empire. A child is born who would one day become one of the greatest spies in history. His name, Richard Sorge, half Russian, half German. A boy who would grow into a man with divided loyalties, a brilliant mind, and nerves of steel. A man whose whispers would shake empires, and whose reports could turn the tide of war. Sorge fought in the German army during World War I. He was gravely wounded, his body broken, yet his mind sharpened. The war radicalized him. He read Marx, embraced communism, and by the 1920s, he pledged himself fully to the Soviet cause. Imagine sitting across from him. A tall man with piercing eyes, a charming smile, and a glass of whiskey in hand. You'd never suspect that behind that smile, every word, every laugh was calculated. Every gesture designed to extract secrets. In 1933, Moscow sent him to Japan. His mission: infiltrate the highest levels of German and Japanese power. And he did it flawlessly. To the Germans, he was a loyal Nazi journalist, trusted and well-connected. To the Japanese, he was a brilliant foreign correspondent. But in truth, every night, he tapped out coded messages on his shortwave radio to Moscow. Each signal carried secrets, plans of the Axis, whispers of invasion, shadows of war. It was Sorge who discovered Hitler's darkest ambition, the invasion of the Soviet Union. Again and again, he warned Moscow. He wrote, "The Germans will invade on June 22, 1941. But Stalin refused to believe him. He dismissed Sorge as just another alarmist. And when the German tanks rolled across the Soviet border, millions paid the price for Stalin's disbelief. But Sorge's greatest triumph came later. In 1941, Tokyo debated, should Japan strike north into Siberia against the Soviet Union, or south into the Pacific against the United States? From deep inside Tokyo's political circles, Sorge reported the truth. Japan would go south, not north. That single piece of intelligence allowed Stalin to transfer over 1 million troops from Siberia to the defense of Moscow. When winter came, those Siberian divisions pushed the Germans back from the gates of the Soviet capital. It was a turning point of the Second World War. And Richard Sorge had made it possible. But in October 1941, the net closed. The Japanese Kempeitai uncovered Sorge's network. He was arrested, interrogated, tortured. And yet, he never betrayed Moscow. Not one name, not one secret. On November 7, 1944, the day the Soviet Union celebrated its revolution, Richard Sorge was led to the gallows in Sugamo prison in Tokyo. He was hanged, abandoned by the very nation he had served so loyally. The Soviets did not lift a finger to save him. For years, his name was forgotten. Moscow buried his memory. It was not until 1964, 20 years after his death, that the Soviet Union finally recognized Richard Sorge as a hero of the Soviet Union. Richard Sorge lived in shadows, loved in silence, and died without glory. But his whispers changed the fate of nations. He was, perhaps, the greatest spy who ever lived. And if you enjoyed this documentary, make sure to subscribe for more. I truly appreciate your support because I put a lot of time and effort into making these stories for you. By subscribing, you help me continue to bring history to life.